That was because I did not know much about what has to be done. So that I think I had somebody help me here, because first thing I did not know Japanese. So some of the procedures were helped by the company, and some of the procedures were helped by one of my email friends. But I am sure if there were no assistance, because compared to today, every ward office has at least the ward offices that have a lot of foreigners living, they have at least one person dedicated to English speaking customers, or rather English speaking residents. But during those days that was not there, right? So had I not had these people help me, then it would have been probably a nightmare. So most of them, like when you come from India, I think 50% of India is vegetarian. You have a lot of problem of that vegetarianism, and at least today people know what vegetarianism is, but 20 years back it was not the case. People did not know what vegetarianism is, right? So, and even it's very difficult for you to go to a ramen shop and ask them to remove pork or remove whatever and give it to you, because first thing is that the ramen shop does not have a process. First thing is that they don't understand they do not understand the concept of vegetarianism, right? Over and above that, when you actually convince them that okay, you only eat vegetarian, this and all the stuff, so then to agree to take that out of your meal is also a difficult thing.
Why?
Because for them, as Japanese, they have to follow the process. In the process, they don't have any facility. They did not have at that time any permission to remove anything from that. And the biggest thing is, they always ask, the one strange thing that they ask is, if we remove this, can we charge you the same? Because for them, they are charging you this particular amount for the whole thing. So now when they remove something from that, they don't know how to charge you. That was a big dilemma for them. Okay. And they can't make the decision, because the decision making is done above them. Yeah, sometimes they refuse. No, we can't serve you like that.
So what happens? You just leave the restaurant, or you
yes,
don't eat? Or?
Yeah, probably we don't eat. Maybe you go to a different restaurant.
Yeah.
I think during those days, like I told you, it's I guess it should have been around 6,000, 7,000 Indians, but today it's close to 40,000 Indians in Japan. So the scenario has changed, and livability in Tokyo for an Indian has become very, very good. I think lifestyle challenges has improved quite a bit. Quite a bit. Basic necessities, the availability of basic necessities for an Indian as an Indian has improved quite a bit. Like I told you, spices, it doesn't take 40 minutes, or it doesn't take half a day to finish your shopping.
Right.
Another thing is the guarantor problem, Japanese guarantor problem in housing.
What do you mean?
20 years back, you wouldn't get a house without a Japanese guarantor. So today, I think there are plenty of options. Plenty of landlords are willing to give it to not only Indians but foreigners also. But one caution is language.
Okay.
So the moment you land here, start learning language. That's the key. My language was almost zero.
Okay.
Almost zero. Okay. So it was a tough time. They were very helpful, but again the language was the barrier.
Yeah.
Of course, I've seen a lot of people, like a typical example I will give you, a lot of people in Tokyo, and it was a culture shock at that time for me. At the small Papa Mama vendor shops that they have, you go and ask them, right, where is this place, with the little Japanese that you know, and they will actually leave the shop and come with you, walk with you for 5 minutes, shop having nobody there nobody to take care of the shop.
Yeah.
That was a culture shock.
Yeah.
And that even today it happens. That from an entrepreneur point of view, there are few hindrances that we still have, is the bank accounts that I mentioned. Even today, of course, during those days it was much easier than today, but I think they have become much more stringent, because recently we are helping an Indian startup company to come to Japan. We have already registered the company, which was a cakewalk, but when we went to the bank, and they gave me an appointment 15 days later just to accept my application. So this is something which we need to improve. If we want Tokyo to be one of the ease of doing business kind of city, we have to improve this.
Okay. Do you think, do you see that it's going to improve? I mean, do you feel positive about that?
It should improve, because one thing good about Japan is basically when there is a problem and the problem is visible, and when people start raising the issue is not left on its own, it is resolved. But learning Japanese is one of the primary thing that any entrepreneur has to do. But from a opportunity point of view, yes, Tokyo is definitely the best, one of the best places in the world now. Language was a big problem at that time, so I couldn't communicate well. But starting of business, from a registration point of view, company registration point of view, it's not that difficult if you hire a lawyer and then go through that, or if you have somebody helping you. But doing on your own, it's a difficult thing.
Okay.
And second thing was finding a place, a commercial establishment, like finding a restaurant place or anything like that. It is still, I think it's a bit of a challenge.
Why? What's the challenge?
First thing is that out of the total pool of commercial places available, I think not everything is open for foreigners. And once you get a property with a foreigner where the foreigner is okay, then you have a problem with Japanese guarantor. For a commercial property, even today you need a Japanese guarantor. And in Japan, it is not very common to ask for guarantee. It's not very common unless you are very close. In India, probably a lot of people can help you. Here they don't even ask, leave alone somebody rejecting it. They don't even ask. You only ask somebody who is like very close, right? Which can be only 3 or 4 people. And those kind of small issues are there. It's not a small issue; it's a big issue. But those kind of issues were there, and nowadays it's much easier for us. But not the same problem exists for the people who come in and start afresh.